So as we get started today, this video is divided into chapters. If you want to skip at any point, just look at the sliding bar underneath the plating window and you can see the chapters to skip ahead. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as my friends over at Yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we are going to work on the Crochet Shifting Chevrons Tote. So what we have here is a beautiful bag. It's made of Caron cotton ripple cakes. I don't have this particular yarn on hand, so I'll be using Caron cotton cakes today with a 4mm and a 5mm or a size G and H crochet hook in order to obtain the size. So what we have here is that there's a beautiful little texturing that's going on in this, and it looks really quite amazing. And on page number 3 you have the base of the bag diagram, and also you have how the chevrons are going to be working in here. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to get you started on the base of the bag, and I'm also going to take you through the chevron area here. You'll notice that this bag is actually increasing and going up on an angle like this because it's actually increasing in size. So it's a nice bucket bag kind of that way. And then here the handle is done in rows just for the first few, and then it's done as a continuous spiral then to the other side. So we're gonna be working through this today, and grab your yarn and let's play. Before we begin today, we are going to be double stranding some sections of this bag today. That means that you're going to grab not just one strand, but you're gonna grab two. So you're just gonna use two different balls in order to do that, so that you can have that and pretend that it's one. So in this tutorial you'll be seeing me doing that, and then when we just go down to one strand we'll be working through that as well. So let's begin. So let's begin today. We are going to use the 5mm size H crochet hook in order to start this project, and what we're going to do then is that we are going to go and pretend that the two strands are one. So just put them together, hold them together as if they're one, and I need you to create a slip knot. So to start the very base of the bag I need you to chain 32. So just rolling the hook back, so just 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and go all the way to 32 and meet me back here in just a moment. Let's go for round number 1. Round number 1 does not require you to obsessively count. So we're just gonna have to count, but not in this particular round. So what we're going to do is that we're gonna come down the chain, and then we're gonna spin around the back side of it and come around again, so it's gonna create a circle. So I need you second chain from the hook, so 1 and 2, go into the back loop of the chain. It will look nicer, and I need you to put in 3 single crochets there. So 1, 2 and 3. Now I need you to continue down the chain, just 1 single crochet in each, and on the very last chain I'll meet you there in just a moment. So and the last chain has 3 single crochets so that it will turn. So I'll see you there in just a moment. So I'm coming down the chain, and my very last one here I'm going to put in 3 single crochets and just let the project just turn upside down. So we have 1, 2 and 3. So I think I kinda lied to you. What I would like you to do, and it's just for because I would do it myself, is just make sure that when you start on the first one coming back all the way to the end, make sure there's only 29 stitches. So just start with that one and say 1 and 2, and then I will see you at the other side here when we get there. So just continue to count, and I'll see you back here in a second. Just come all the way down. I have 29 that's come along, and I'm just going to slip stitch it then to the beginning. Now I wanted you to count that because the next few rounds will matter, is making sure that you have the right count. So we have 64 single crochets all the way around. So we're now going to progress to round number 2. So in round number 2 what's gonna happen here is that we're going to chain up 1, and we'll put a single crochet, 3 of them in the first stitch, and then what we're going to do is then put 1 single crochet in the middle one of that turn, and then 3 single crochets in the next one here, and then we're gonna zip all the way down. And so you can see that there's 3 single crochets in the corner here on the bottom. So then you put 3 in the first one, 1 in the middle, and then 3 in the next, and then zoom all the way back. Let's begin row number 2. Let's begin row number 2, and you're going to just chain up 1, and in the same one you want to apply 3 single crochets. So 1, 2 and 3, and then the next one is the middle, and then you'll put 3 single crochets in the next one. So 1, 2 and 3. Now you're just gonna zoom all the way down to the other side, and I want you to find the very last one, And here's the instruction. The first one will have 3 single crochets. The next one, which is the middle one, will have 1 single crochet, and then the last one of the grouping of 3 will have 3 single crochets. Please do that and then meet me back here at the end of the rotation, and I'll see you back here in a moment. When you get all the way back around, just slip stitch it to the first one of that 3 and it should be looking really good. And so let's go back to the diagram to go for row number 3. So let's start round number 3. I've been saying row, but it's a round. And so round number 3, you're gonna chain up 1 and you're gonna single crochet in the first one. The next one here is the middle one of the grouping of 3. So you're going to put 3 single crochets in that one. And then the next 3 in a row will be single crochets by themselves. And again, the next middle one of the grouping of 3 is gonna have 3 single crochets, and then you're gonna zip on down. So on the other side, when you get there, you'll come down and it's the middle one of the group of 3 will have 3 single crochets. You'll have 3 by themselves, 3 single crochets again in the middle, and then you'll zoom all the way back. Please do this and let's do round number 3. So let's do round number 3. You're gonna chain up 1 and you'll put 1 single crochet in the first one. And then this next one is the middle of the grouping of 3. So this will have 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. And now there should be 3 single crochets before you get to the middle one here. And so you see that? So 1, 2, 3. So that means that's right. So you just do that. So 1, 2, and 3. And then the next one here is going to be the turn, so it'll be 3 single crochets. Now you're gonna just continue to go all the way down the other side, and then again the middle one of the grouping of 3 will have 3 single crochets. There'll be 3 single crochets in a row, and then the middle one on this side here will have 3 single crochets, and then your zip on back. So please do this for round number 3. So I just come all the way down around and I just slip stitch. Now we're gonna go for round number 4. Now round number 4 is the same thing what we just did, is so we're gonna just chain up 1, and then the first 2 in a row will be single crochets, and the middle one of the grouping of 3 is gonna have 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, and 3, and then you have 5 in a row before you get to the middle one of the next one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And do you really need to count it? Not really. If you know how to identify the middle one of those groups of 3, then you don't need to count. So then you'll put 3 single crochets there. So when you come around, the middle one of the grouping of 3 will always have 3 single crochets, and then everything else is just single crochet in between. So please do this all the way around, and I'll see you at the end of this round. This is round number 4. So just come around on number 4. Looks pretty cool, right? So now we're going to, and see how this is kind of oblong a little bit. Don't worry about that. It will balance itself out. It's just the way that the stitches go in. So let's begin number 5. Number 5 is the same thing. So the middle one of the grouping of 3 will have 3 single crochets, and you'll do that for each of the corners. So when you start off, you'll chain up 1, and in this case you'll have 1, 2, and 3 on its own. But again, I wouldn't worry about counting that so much. Just look for the middle one of the grouping of 3 and you'll always get it. But it's good to know just in case, right? So in this case then there should be 7 single crochets before you get to the next one. And again, I wouldn't count. I would just look for the middle. So do you hear me counting? Nope. Okay, so now the next one is there. So let me just verify anyway, just because I'm a little paranoid now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the middle one. So there you have 3 single crochets. So what I need you to do is continue around. Again, the middle of the 3 single crochets will get 3 single crochets again, and then just 1 single crochet in the rest. And we're gonna conclude with round number 5 in a moment, and this will be the ending of using 2 strands at the same time so that the base of the bag is thicker. So I'll see you at the end of this round in just a moment. So I'm coming up to the end of number 5, and at the end of number 5 what I need to do is that I need to just slip stitch it, and then I need to cut one of the yarns. So it's coming from the yarn ball. So choose whatever ball that you would like to release and just cut one of the strands, and I need you now to change back or change to the 4mm size G crochet hook in order to proceed any further. And we're going to proceed now into the first row, which will then have us expand one more time, and then we'll do 4 rows of just straight single crochets so that we can really see the balling or the bowl shape of this bag turn out. Let's start the first row, and the base is now thicker, and we're going to begin. Make sure that your hook is changed to the 4mm size G. Chain up 1 only, and in the same one as the join I need you to put 1 single crochet and go over top of the straggler that you cut as well, and that will hide it. So that's 1 stitch, and you'll do a single crochet for the next, and then a single crochet for the next. Then the next one will have 2 single crochets. So the repeat pattern going all the way around this particular round is that there will be 3 single crochets by themselves. So we have 1, 2, and 3, and then the next one has 2 into the same one, so it's having a bit of growth. I need you to do that all the way around. This is the first round of the beyond the bag. So let's begin to continue to do that, and I'll see you back here in just a moment. So now that I've just gone all the way around, I have the right counts, and now I'm going to proceed now 2, 3, 4, and 5, and all that is that you are just going to chain up 1 and just do 1 single crochet in each of the stitches all the way around. So please do these 4 rows of just 1 single crochet, and then I'll be back, and then we're gonna start the actual repeat pattern, which is the fun step that you saw within the models that may have compelled you to want to do this pattern. So please just do 4 rows of 1 single crochet, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I've just finished up to the 5th round off camera. I need you to really listen here. We are going to complete the shifting chevron stitch, and it consists of 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we have to do that twice. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we proceed into the pattern. So you'll see that after you get the 4, it says repeat rounds 1 through 4 once more. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You then pick up the pattern right here. It says the next 3 rounds are 1 single crochet in each stitch, and then the next round after that is chain 1, 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 single crochet in the next 9 stitches, and repeat from the asterisk around. So that 2 single crochets in the next, 1 single crochet in the next 9. Then you have to do the the shifting chevrons pattern again. So work 4 rounds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you pick it back up again, and then you do this. So these next 3 rounds here that you see, they're always different because it's growing bigger. So this one was 1 single crochet in the next 9, and this one's 1 single crochet in the next 10, and this one's the next 11, and then the next 12. So what I'm going to do is that I'm gonna take you through 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll do the 4 rounds here, and then I'm gonna leave the rest of this for you in order to get to the top of the bag, and it's just a matter of looking at the pattern here and just being able to figure out the number. So it's gonna be 10, 11, and 12, and that's kind of a cool idea. So we're gonna begin to do this now, and we're gonna start with the first round, and let's take a look at the diagram and see what we're gonna get ourselves into. So we just finished the 5th round of the single crochet that we have, and this will look the same as if you were doing the regular rounds as well. So it's gonna be these single crochets that are underneath. So as we begin row number 1, we are going to round number 1, we're gonna chain up 1, and we'll do 1 single crochet into the next 3. This here, this is the double spiked stitch. So you're just going to wrap the hook, and you're gonna come into here, and then you're gonna come in to here. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to do that. The nice thing about it is that once you get established there, you'll do the next 3. This one here that you'll have is just coming 1 stitch over from where this one is, and the next one is coming straight on down. So you just got to remember that you're just skipping a set number of stitches here down below in order to make it all work. And so once you get established in the first one, the rest of it's pretty straightforward to go. As we get bigger in this, or taller, then what's gonna happen is that the spike will be changing position. So eventually the first one will then be going before the slip stitch, and then straight on down, and we're gonna keep on shifting that over and over in order to get it to go. So let's try round number. Okay, so let's begin. round number 1. So you're gonna chain up 1 and you'll do 1 single crochet in the first 3. So 1, 2 and 3. Now the first one of the grouping of 3 is where you're gonna come and you need to go 2 rows below right here. So just see a full row, so there's the 2, and so you're gonna yarn over and go into that one and pull through, pull up a loop, and then this next one is where we are currently, and we need to go 3 rows below. So 1, 2 and 3, and just yarning over and go 3 rows below and pull up a loop. Give it a bit of slack, and then you're gonna pull through all of the loops on the hook, and there is your texture there. So that counts as the stitch that it's sitting in front of, so you just single crochet the next 3. So we have 1, 2, 3, and then begin again. So just following it around and make sure you get to the right level, and the next one is just straight on down 3. So 1, 2 and 3, and come on in and then pull up a loop and then pull through all 5. Okay, and I need you to do that all the way around, so I'll show you one more time. So that counts as the one it's sitting in front of. So we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, and so the third one is where you come on down. You're gonna come on down 2 and look for the one that's down 2 just for verification. And then the one that you're in front of right now. 1, 2, 3. So it's gonna take you a little bit of time to get established, but it's because it's the first round too. It will become more obvious in the future rounds. So please continue to do this all the way around. This is round number 1. So I'm coming to the very end of this round. Now it did take me a while because I wanna make sure that I'm getting the stitches exactly where I need to position them, and that's just the way it is, right? So, and it's a new stitch too, so you have to get used to it. And then once you have that last spike in there, then you're just going to slip stitch it to the beginning, and we're gonna move on to row number 2. So just take a look. I did frog a little bit just to make sure that my spikes were all in the same position, and we're gonna move on to row number 2 next. Let's begin round number 2. You're gonna start with just chain 1, and you're gonna start immediately with a double spike. So you're just gonna wrap the hook and see where this is coming into. See this one leaning? You wanna come into the one just above it. So just kind of follow it just above, and then yarning over, pulling it through, and then the one that's going straight on down is going to be into this one here. It's gonna be share the same one, and then you're gonna pull through, and now we're going to single crochet the next 3 in a row. So I'm just kind of leaning things forward so I can see, and what my goal is that the spike stitch is just after where the spike is. So the spike stitch will appear here. So you'll have 3 single crochets in a row. So 1, 2 and 3. So the third one is sitting on top of the old spike, and so you'll do another spike. So just wrap, and so you'll come and you see this one here. You're gonna come straight up just 1 and pull through. And the next one is this one here, coming straight on down into the same one. And pull through everything, and then you'll do your 3 in a row, which is the last. The third one is the spike. So 1, 2, 3. So now that you have orientation on here, it's easier. So just wrap the hook. So you're coming up to the one just above this one, and then the one coming straight on down is sharing the last of this one, and then you'll do your 3 in a row. Please do this all the way around for round number 2. So I'm coming up to the end of round number 2. I've got my double spike, and there should be 3 single crochets left in a row. So we have 1, 2 and 3, and you're going to join to the first double spike there. Now we're gonna move on to round number 3 next. In round number 3, I've been able to zip around a lot quicker now because of the fact that I understand the pattern. So now it's becoming fun. So chain up 1, and you'll do 1 single crochet in the first, and then therefore you'll begin your spike. So you'll begin and you'll start with the one, see this one leaning, you'll start with the next one up that's higher, and then this one here. So the next one then becomes, see this one leaning, that's the one it's gonna share. Okay, see the resemblance? So now you're gonna do the 1, 2 and 3, and the third one ends up in the top of the spike, and so you'll do another spike from this point. So here, and you're gonna come one taller or one higher than the last one, and then this one here is sharing the same one that's leaning over, which is the last one there. And then you'll have 1, 2 and 3, so that's sitting on there. So let's do one more. So just one taller, so, or just one higher from the last one, and then this one shares that that one right here. And I need you to do this all the way around for round number 3, and I'll see you back here in a moment. So I'm completing round number 3 as the pattern as I know it, and after you get this last spike in, there's only 2 single crochets after it, because the first single crochet that's standing by itself is after the connection spot, right? So let's just join it to the first, and let's move on to round number 4 next. So in round number 4 we're going to chain up 1, and we'll do 1 single crochet in the first 2 stitches, and the 2, see it's on the top of the spike, and so then you'll create another spike here, and it's right above, and then it's in the same one as the last that you see over here. And then it's 3 single crochets in a row, which will take you to the top of the next spike right there. So you're gonna come in, and so you're gonna go to the one above, and then the same one as here. This is actually a lot thicker than you realize. Chances are if you're crocheting along with me at this moment, you're probably surprised by that too. I am for sure. So this is creating a extra thickness in it. I wasn't sure if it was gonna be that thick or not. So just keep on moving around. So I'm coming to the end of number 4, and I'm doing a spike stitch, and then after the end of the spike stitch there's only 1 single crochet left, and then you're just gonna join it. So now we have to begin rows number 1 through 4 once again in order to continue the pattern, and we're gonna start with row number 1 again. So we have to do 1 through 4 2 times. So we're gonna start again, and this time when we start row number 1 we don't have to worry about counting the stitches. We can just continue to follow the pattern. So let's do this. So in row number 1, so we're gonna chain up 1, and you'll do 1 single crochet in the first 3, which will take you to the top of the spike, and then you're just going to come 1 up higher, and then share the same one as before. So it's exactly what you already know. So I'm not gonna spend too much time on it at this moment because we've already gone through this. So this is row number 1, repeating it for the second time, and I want you to do that, and please pick up at the end of this round in just a moment. At the end of row number 1, if you recall, there is a spike stitch just after the whole concept, and we're just gonna join it. So the spike stitch will be the very last, and then you just join it. So you can reverse back now to row number 2, 3 and 4 already filmed, and it will pick it up. And where I'm going to pick you up next is that after you get the 4th row done, or 4th round done, I'm going to pick you up, and we're going to go through the next rounds just to make sure you get that. So please do rounds number 2, 3 and 4. You can reverse back the video, just see the video chapters in order to do that, to reverse back if you need to. And this is just gonna continue to go around and around, and let's continue our journey in just a moment, starting with the next rows in just a moment. I've now completed this section here. So I went 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, so there's a total of 8 rows here. Now we're going to move on to the next 3 rounds as per the pattern. So the next 3 rounds, just continue along, just chain up 1 and just put in 1 single crochet into each of the stitches all the way around, and then please do all 3 rounds and meet me back here, and then we'll do the increase that is involved. Remember, the increase does change as you get higher up in the bag, and we'll be talking about that a little bit later. So just 1 single crochet in each of the stitches all the way around for 3 rounds, and I'll be right back in a moment. At this point we're now going to move on to doing the next round. chain 1, 2 single crochets in the next single crochet, 1 single crochet in the next 9 single crochets. Once we have that done, we're gonna work 8 of the shifting chevrons. So that's 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, and then you're gonna move on. At the time of filming this, and I've already confirmed with the designer, there's an error right here. It says next round. It's next 3 rounds. And so at the time of filming it's actually currently there, but it will be corrected in the future, so you may not even see this error at all. So in the next 3 rounds we're going to then do 3 rounds of single crochet. Then this time it'll be chain 1 single crochet into the next, or 2 single crochets in the next, and 1 single crochet in the next 10, and then 8 more rounds of the shifting, or 8 more rounds of the shifting chevrons. So what I'm gonna demonstrate here is the 9, just to make sure that you understand it, and then I'm gonna leave the rest of this here for you to be able to complete. Now you'll notice in the pattern of this particular bag is that there's 4 sections. So 1 2 3 and 4. So after you have the final 8 that are here, there's gonna be 5 rounds of just single crochet without any expansion at that point. So what I'm gonna do is just demonstrate how to increase it just the one time, and then I'm gonna leave the rest of this bag for you. So let's move on to that round. So we're gonna do the increase. So this is the first time it's being done. So we're going to chain 1, and you'll do 2 single crochets into the first, and then there's going to be 9 in a row of single crochets. So let's count those. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 9, and then that's the repeat. So then you repeat again. So 2 single crochets in the next, and then 9 is on its own. So you're gonna repeat that all the way around, and I'll meet you there in a moment, and then we'll quickly talk, and then you can do the rest of the body of the bag on your own. So I've just done my increase here with, this was the 9 and single crochets in a row, and with the 2 that is increasing. So now I need you to go back, and you're going to do 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, and then 3 rounds of single crochet, and then the next increase. So you'll continue to do that, and just look at the pattern in order to get those numbers. So the next time that'll happen is that there will be 10 single crochets in a row, and then the next time after that it will happen, it'll be 11, and then the next time after that is 12. So eventually you'll see 4 strips of this, and then the last 5 rounds are going to just be single crochets, and that will conclude. So that's where I'll see you here in a few moments from now, but in the meantime I'm gonna put my hook in the wind, and I'll get there so that I can move on in today's tutorial. Okay, I'll see you back here in just a few seconds from now, but I have a few hours worth of work to do at this point. So last time I left you, I was way down here, and I spent my weekend, and I got it bigger. It's not 100% perfect, but it's perfect enough for me, and that's great. So I literally put a stitch marker here, so I was kind of losing where I was when I was coming back around. Sometimes it's just easier to put a stitch marker, so I will take that out. So now that I'm at the top, I want to just fasten in the end, and I want to show you how I'm going to do that, because that actually can make a nicer finish. So you can see that I have left in the loop here, so my crochet hook would have been in there. So what I want to do is that I want to pull that loop. So you notice that I did not join it. So this is not in the instructions. This is something of experience just to show you. So what I want to do is that I want to create that join. Sorry, I ran in the studio. Me running, I know, is a funny thing on its own. So what I want to do is that I want to take this, and I want to go across as if I'm going into the stitch. Okay, and I want to bring it back, and I want to pull, so it pulls nice and tight. This one comes out of the top of this one here, and I want to go back down in there, and I'm just gonna pull that, and so it'll keep a nice flat look, because if you do it with a regular join, you always get a bump. So now on the back side here, I want to just drag my yarn through about an inch or so. This hook here, or this particular needle here, has a point on it, so it struggles to get through the fibers a little bit. So if you see me struggling, it's a real deal. So I'm just gonna turn it the way, because it's easier for me. So I'm just gonna pull, and I'm staying on the inside, and so a slightly different path going back in the opposite direction. Okay, this way, and then one more time going in the opposite direction. And a slightly different path again. If you go in the exact same path, it'll just follow it. Okay, so now that that's in, I want to take care of any loose ends that I do have on here. and this one here, because of the way I did it, you can go right down into the project. So I have that other loose ends to take care of, and so what I'm gonna do is that we're gonna move on to the handles. So we're now gonna move on to the handles, and there's two of them. I've already done them in advance, and so what it is that we're gonna have it, and it'll be just going across in the rows like this, and then we'll be going in a complete spiral. So it's there's no joining at all. You just keep on going to spiral about 25 inches, and then the other side, once you get about 25 inches, you just go back and forth on there. Once you have that done, then you can just sew it down to whatever position you would like to do at the flat end, and therefore you'll have a thicker piece of grabbing onto your bag. So without further ado, let's go on to the handles next. So let's begin to do the bag. We're gonna be using a 5mm size H crochet hook today. We are double stranding the Caron cotton cakes, so the double stranding will make it stronger, and we're going to create a long tail so that you can use that tail to sew it to the bag later. So create a slip knot, just put the two yarns together. It's from the same ball for me, so I'm using the interior strand and the exterior strand from the same ball. Once your slip knot is on, you're going to chain 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let's do row number 1. Second chain from the hook, so just count back 1 and 2, turn it over and get the back hump of the chain. It will just look nicer. And I need you to single crochet across your chain. So by doing the second chain from the hook, you'll end up with 7 single crochets altogether. So 7 is the operative number in case you have to count stitches later. So row 1 is done. So what I need you to do is that we need to do rows, turn it around first and do rows number 2, 3, 4, and 5 the exact same way. So just chain up 1 and do 1 single crochet in each of the stitches going across, and then turn it. So please do now rows number 2, 3, 4, and 5 the same way, just back and forth with single crochets, and I'll be right back in just a moment. I'm now coming up to the end of row number 5. So at the end of the row, I don't want you to turn the work. Okay, so you should be able to count 5 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we're going to just flip up the other side. So just coming around, and now you're gonna go in a continuous spiral. So starting in the very first stitch, you're just going to single crochet, and this will pull that into a circle. So all you have to do now is just go in a continuous spiral for however long you want it. For the bag that I have, which is a generous size handle but it's not overly huge, is 25 inches between the top of this section here all the way before you start doing the opening on the other side. So you're just gonna put your hook into the wind and just go in a continuous spiral. For myself, what I decided to do is just once in a while, just to make sure that I can count that there's still 7 stitches when I'm doing a circle. And so if the thickness of the concept changes, then you know it's a problem. So just immediately jump on over. So once I jump over the first time, I want to count the number of stitches just to verify that there's still 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can see that I'm missing a stitch. So that means I jumped too far when I jumped. Okay, so I want to jump back 1. I'm gonna leave this in the tutorial because it's better for me to leave in a mistake like that than it is to pretend that I'm perfect. So I'm just gonna count again, make sure that I have 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So all I have to do now is just do in a continuous spiral. Just check the 7 once in a while just to make sure that you're okay, and just get to the inches that you want. So this particular one, I have to keep spiraling around until I can get 25 inches non-stretched, just relax, laying the tape measure down, laying this down and measuring it. So please come back here in just a few moments for me in just a few moments, and just to recap, because we have to open up on the other side. So we'll begin to do that. So you're gonna continue to spiral around until you get to the distance that you want. So from the edge that I started to the opening here is 25 inches, and then I just finished the final 5 rows. So what we're going to do then is that once you're ready to do that, and let's just say we're ready to do that. So just say I have my 25 inches between the here and here. So in order to open it back up, then you just turn it around, chain 1, and you will single crochet across the 7. So 1, and count them, make sure 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now to answer your question, these opening happens to be at the same spot. If it's not, you can just simply just twist the handle. Because it's so long, you can twist it a little bit in order to get it, and it shouldn't really misshape anything. So once you have your 7 there, that's considered row 1 of 5. So then you turn your work, chain up 1, and just do single crochets going back. So you need to do 5 rows of this. So we've already done 1, this is 2, and then do 3, 4, and 5, and meet me back here in just a moment. So I'm bringing back the main sample. So once you have your 5 rows done and it's completely, just leave a long tail because you can use that to sew it down to the project. So we have long tails on both sides, and what we want to do is position this in the bag so that it makes sense. So what I want to do is that I want to lay it down onto the bag and determine where I would like to place it, and that's what we're gonna do now. So let's position the handle. So you wanna just make sure the bag is laying flat because of the way that it's shaped on the bottom. You will see that. And so what I like to do is that you use the picture. It doesn't give you a dimension, but use a picture to determine where to put the handle. So what I like to do is put my hand out, and this is gonna be the start. So I'm going to put one right here, and I want to lay it so that the flat area opens completely up and will be on top of this idea. Once I have that established, I want to just grab another little crochet hook, and we're just gonna use spare yarn. So I want to do 4 pieces, and just carefully going in, I just want to mark it where I'm gonna put it. And that'll hold it in that position until I'm ready to sew it in. Okay, so my hands are pretty about equal on both sides, I believe. So this side, I want to turn it so that this is facing down. So I want to make sure this handles, if I am twisting it, it's not going to be weird shaped. So just make sure that it will have the beautiful arch, and using my hand just to the edge. It's right about there somewhere. And I want to do the same with the other side. But once you have the one side done, just turn it over and do the other side. And so just starting with the 2 strands, use them together, and you're gonna want to use a needle. So I just switched out my needle to something that I know will work better than that really sharp one. And so my goal is to go across the bottom. So just kind of going in and out using the same color, and I just want to kind of start it and going in and out. And I'll give you a little secret here in a moment, and then coming back out. So just kind of matching it up, and I want to make sure that it comes down straight as well, like down the angle there. So my goal here is to go all the way across, up, and then back across and back down, so I do a complete circle. And then I'm going to go in an X formation up, and then down, and then an X formation going the other way. And the reason why I'm doing that is that it's gonna be more stable, and it will be a lot stronger. So once you get enough of this sewn into position, you can move those, you can take off that stitch marker, and just don't be cheap about attaching this. Meanwhile, don't make sure you put in the work, because all the weight will be resting on these handles. So once you get to the other side, just start going up, and make your way all the way to the top edge. I can feel it in behind, and then I'm gonna go back across. So I'm gonna go across and then down and do my angles. So I'll be back in just a moment. So I've gone all the way around, and I went up, and then I came down, and then I went up. So at the end here, I'm just going to turn it over and just weave in my ends. So I'm going to do it so that I'm gonna tie this to a knot first, so staying on the inside. Pull nice and tight, and then I want to drag this yarn underneath 3 times. So just going across once, just stay right behind the handle, or in front of the handle I should say. and then go back across again. And then finally the third time is the charm. So going back and forth 3 times, this should never fall out on you. And then you can safely cut it down into the project. And therefore your handle then would be attached. So I need you to do that with all the handles, and I'll be right back in just a moment. So I've now sewn in everything, and this is one of the nicest bags that I've seen on Yarnspirations.com. I really loved it. It's designed by Julia. I like the texture a lot. Like a lot. It's not for the weak-minded, the people that just want like simple stitches, but this looks like feathers to me, and it looks amazing. And I said, as I mentioned, I did screw up a little bit before, but I'm really okay with this. And now look who's back from the big city. That's a Sex and the City quote. So I love this bag. This has been a lot of fun, and Wendy's the one that got me hooked on this particular pattern, and she knows that I'm a sucker for texture, so I was like darn Wendy, we have to have a talk, girl. Don't show me these fabulous patterns, because you know I'm gonna want to hook it. So that's it for today. We hope you've had a good one, and until next time, it's Mike on behalf of the Crochet Crowd and Yarnspirations.com. See ya. Bye bye.